I'm John Hanna for CDTV.net in hot New York, and we have Dirk Van Dijk, Chief Equity Strategist at Zacks.com, joining us from Dayton, Ohio. Is it hot out there?
It is brutally hot out there, hot and humid.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Seems to be the trend of the next week now, right? In the whole week.
Yeah, and of course, global warming is just a farce, right? This is
Temperatures are
this,
all over the.
it's pretty brutal out here. Although, yeah, I know you can't blame any day's weather on climate change, but I have to say the weather seems awfully weird of late, and you know, pumping too much CO2 and methane into the atmosphere seems to be the most logical explanation.
Right, but then again, there's been some reports of some even hail, just even like a couple of weeks ago, right? Before we.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, you usually get hail and strong thunderstorms and tornadoes. I mean, that would actually be in keeping with the thesis that the weather is getting weird. I mean, record number of tornadoes, massive floods in parts of the country, and then other parts of the country in the most extreme droughts seen since the Dust Bowl. And not to mention all the weirdness that we had last year with the droughts in Russia and the floods in Pakistan, and what's going on in Australia. The U.S. is not alone in terms of having weird weather, and the fact that we don't have much of a polar ice cap either is a little bit worrying.
Yeah,
But I don't think we're the topic of the day is the global climate change debate, although I certainly have views on that, obviously.
the so um what do you have for us today with regards to the market? I know we have so many things to talk about the climate, and that's just a tip of the iceberg. But what do we have for the market today?
Well, the big report today, and probably the reason why the market is rebounded a bit, is the housing starts and building permits report, which came in better than expected. In terms of housing starts relative to last month, the starts were up 14.6% to an annual rate of 629,000 versus 549,000 in May. Now, a little bit of a fly in the ointment is the fact that May was revised down from the initial read of 560,000. So, factor that in, and the increase is more like 12% rather than 14.6%. While it's nice to see the housing starts rise, you got to keep in mind that it's still a very lousy absolute level. At the peak of the housing bubble, housing starts were running at an annualized rate of over 2.1 million. So 629,000 was certainly better than than 549,000, but it's still at levels that are lower than what we were seeing in the early 1960s, which, when the U.S. had a population of about 200 million rather than over 300 million today. One would think with more people, you'd need more places for people to live. I would also temper a bit of this by saying that most of the improvement. Oh, I would also, before I move on to that, year over year, starts were up 11.8% from an annual, and so it's we're seeing that was an easy comp that we're dealing with. In terms of the Uh, the breakdown, though, most of the real improvement was in the multifamily sector, the 5 or more units. Uh, and we have been seeing a bit of a revival in apartments, with vacancy rates coming down, and there weren't a lot of starts last year or the year before, so probably have a record low year this year for completions or new units ready to be moved into. But for the month, multifamily starts were up 31.8%, and we're up 104.8% from a year ago. Single-family starts, what you normally think about in terms of housing starts, were up 9.4% for the month, but only 0.4 percent year over year, and so it's a baby step in the right direction, but we really have a long way to go on the housing front. So I wouldn't get too excited just yet, but after this sort of long string of weak and anemic reports that we've had, it's nice to have something come in better than expected.
That's true. That's true. That's Dirk Van Dyke, Chief Equity Strategist at Zag.com, joining us from Dayton, Ohio, and I'm John Hanna from CDTV.net in New York. Have a nice day.